What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 6T3. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Real quick, if you didn't mind hitting a like on this video, possibly subscribe to the channel, that'd be fantastic. Kart 6T3 brought to you every single week, every video, everything, all the stuff from Track Tack Tire Treatments, products for tires and tracks. They do have a product that if you own a track and you would like to de-dustify your track, they can do that for you. If you are looking for a prep program or looking to switch off of whatever program you're going on now, go ahead, reach out to myself, reach out to Track Tack themselves, Chris Harris. Fantastic wealth of knowledge there. So there's the due diligence. I forgot last video and I was like, man, I feel bad about that. I mean, I still, during editing, I was able to put stuff up because I was like, you forgot to do the ad read thingy that you're supposed to do, you know, when a sponsor's on board. I mean, I would love to have more sponsors on this channel, but if I'm failing at the simplest things of just one, But anyway, so I did some more clone racing. Big surprise here. Now, I have been getting a little flack from my UAS compadres asking if I'm just done with UAS racing entirely. I am not, but I want to focus on the clone racing for now because it gives me, you know, it's fun, it's a new experience and all that, and we'll kind of get into how it's been so far. But I want to pause on the UAS stuff. It's a lot of driving. My finances aren't entirely there anymore to make those big 4 or 5 long poles. The Bama 70 sitting right there, 270 sitting right there. It's fresh piston, ran great the first time out. I got some handling issues to get with it on the chassis, but that's fine. But right now, I'm just staying local, you know, within a couple hours of where I live, trying to get this clone thing going so I can understand better where most of my audience is coming from, because we all, you know, it's great to watch UAS, it's great to watch the high horsepower stuff and maybe strive to be in that one day, but a majority of my audience runs clone. It's just what they know, or they run Predator, which, you know, Predator, clone, it's close enough, at least, you know, from the experience wise, I can relay that information. But I'm gonna, you probably already saw the title of this video. I thought that it's probably going to be something along the lines of, yeah, my UAS friends will say that, I won't say you didn't warn me. I won't say you didn't warn me. Now, it all has been bad, but let's get into some of the pros and cons of what clone racing has been to me so far. Okay, I'm not a Debbie Downer. So I'm a positive person. I like to smile. I like to have a good time. So we will start off on the positives. This has been a whole new experience for me. Learning the different engine type in its entirety has been interesting. So just in general, power-wise, you know, big. We'll say that the Bama 270. I don't know, you know what the dyno is. 70 horsepower, 65, 70 horsepower, somewhere in there. Going down to something that's what, clone's what, 15 horsepower, give or take. That's been a significant difference, but it hasn't not been fun. I know I had a whole bunch of UAS guys, you know, telling me, hey, you're not going to like the power, you're going to be wondering where it's at. And don't get me wrong, you know, starts have been, there is a timing to starting and paying attention to where your competitors are, if they're firing on the backstretch, where they're firing in the corner, being Johnny on the spot, listening for their RPMs. These are all things, you know, this is what I'm talking about, that it's just a different type of racing. I know that with open racing, there's all this horsepower and everything, but you really truly have to be in tune with what's going on in clone racing and the sights and sounds, watching people, watching lines, this and that. When it comes to you get out of shape in UAS, and it's not a good thing to always get out of shape, but you have a whole bunch of horsepower to catch you back up. If you screwed up a corner, you know, you might be able to use your horsepower to get you out of that pinch. It's not so much with the clone. You mess up a corner, it could take you 2, 3, 4, 5 laps in order to get that back. You have to be Johnny on the spot. You have to, things like restarts, things like line preference, where you're running, gearing, all these things all are so critical because of the lack of horsepower in what you have to use getting up off the corner, getting into the corner, and all those types of things. So as a whole, I've really been enjoying it. And I've stated before, I'm a person who, if it's an amusement park, and I like the karts there. I like to race. I don't care if it's high horsepower stuff. I don't care if it's clone stuff. I don't care if it's amusement park ride. I like to race. I am, in general, a very competitive person. So you put me in anything, and I'm going to want to race it. And I think a lot of you are that way, too. But yes, I have my preferences. Would I choose an amusement park ride over racing? No. No, of course not. But I enjoy it all. I can take it for what it's worth and enjoy that moment in time. So does the low horsepower bother me? Maybe a little bit. It's, I do kind of miss it. I miss that thrill, standing on the throttle and sitting back in my seat. I do miss that a little bit. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's right there. Whenever I choose to run it next, I'll feel that again. But it's been just in general a really good time for me and a really good experience to learn. I have not played with tires so much in a long time. I know that I do the videos, should prep be banned and this and that. I can't tell you. With a clone, in my opinion here, this is just from my experience, and that's all I can go by, you have to be more Johnny on the spot with your tires, your durometer, your prep, all these little things. Like I said, you don't have a whole bunch of horsepower to get you out of a bind, so you have to be very precise with tire selection. And I've had tires on this Surfacer more this year than I ever have in all of my UAS. I can't remember spending that much time now up north. A Vega Yellow, for instance, in UAS is usually the tire of choice, depending. Burst 33s when we're running Paradise. Couple tracks, Burst 33s type of thing, but we didn't have a whole bunch of maxes. So, that maybe down south, the tire game is similar as far as that goes. But also, I race against people like Kyle Pia's there that had his thumb in the clone world and was listening to the clone racers of what tire they were choosing for a particular track. And, let's be honest, the past couple of years, Kyle was faster than me. So I think that him getting the experience and running clone aside from running UAS was also gaining him that knowledge, giving him a leg up on what I was able to do in UAS. I was always very confident in my ability with tires with UAS. Well, he was getting more information like, you should be up on durometer, you should be running more pressure. He was, he's friends with some of the clone racers, getting this intel and being able to apply it to his UAS thing. So I guess my point there is, tires, you got to be Johnny on the spot. You got to know what's going on, pay attention to what's going on. I enjoy that part. In a whole, I enjoy information. I love to learn. I love to learn what works, what doesn't work, so far I've been running, 2-year-old tires. 2-year-old? 22s? 23. Maybe I have 23s. How much speed I've given up just in, slightly older tires. And I've mentioned before, we're going to find out 33s because my 33s are exceptionally old compared to some. But I think they may work because of how much, prep I'm able to put into them. So there's that. All right, so let's give me a second here, sip of water. And I'll talk about what this video, was labeled as probably the downside to clone racing. Okay, we are back, and I'm not gonna, this isn't gonna be a whole big thing. There is a lot more contact. There is a lot more contact than I thought there was gonna be. So just in general, in UAS world, I am, throughout the years, an aggressive driver. I have been in more than enough of discussions about my driving, about where I've put my cart, where I shouldn't have put my cart. All sorts of this, getting into people, this and that over the years. I've learned from it. I maybe the past couple of years I haven't been as aggressive as I used to be, but I'm still an aggressive driver. So coming into clone, I wanted to mind my P's and Q's. So I was doing my best, especially, when I'm going to these local tracks. I'm not running for points, so I'm trying to do the best I'm doing without upsetting the apple cart. I don't want to, you know, on accident wreck into somebody and cost them a whole bunch of points to so-and-so. I know it's racing. I know, you know, we all put our 4 tires on. You pay your money, you take your chances. I totally get that. But my intent was dipping my toe into this. I was going to attempt to keep my name clear as best I could and keep it as clean as possible. But I will say this, I haven't been aggressive enough. And if you aren't aggressive enough, I'm not saying you have to be dirty. If you are not aggressive enough in clone racing, you will get used up. And I did get used up. And you know, it's part of the game. So we'll fall back to what I initially said. When you only have the 15 horsepower or whatever it is that, you know, a clone's rated at, everybody is so close. And when everybody is closer on tires, when everybody is closer on adjustments, whenever it just, your speed and other kart, there isn't such a discrepancy. In UAS racing, usually somebody hits it and they're gone. And then, you know, maybe 1 or 2 are, you know, kind of in the neighborhood, and then there's the rest of the pack kind of thing. Well, that, from my experience so far, really hasn't happened. Even the fastest guy isn't checked out. He's still within range of a mistake or 2, running into some lap traffic. Next thing you know, the pack is going to be on him. It's just everybody is closer together. Therefore, it's causing more contact, in my opinion, and everybody's trying to get everything for what it's worth. So, as much as I try, I'm just like everybody else, you know. And if you hit me enough times, I will get mad and I will get aggressive. And I didn't want to be that guy. It was it was not my intent to be that, but as it turns out, if you rough me up enough, if you rub me wrong, if you slam into me, you can get that back out of me, that I'm going to be that aggressive with you. I'm absolutely not for right hooking somebody. I'm absolutely not for dumping somebody. But when it comes to rubbing, if you rub back by me to get position and I get a chance back, hey, chances are I'm going to rub back up on you. So there's that. I know I was warned from the UAS guys. That's the whole kind of, I'm making light of it. But I'm looking at my left side panel right now on my wedge. I ran that wedge for an entire year and I barely see a frickin' donut on it. Now, in comparison, this was a brand new Chavis body at the beginning of the year, and rubbin's racing, boys, and I got the rubs. I got the rubbin racing thing going on. I should probably put some graphic guards on it. I have them. I was lazy and I didn't put it on them, but scars are cool, man. They show that it's a race body. Anyway, it was something that I knew was possible. I knew that would come eventually. And it also comes with the type of tracks I'm on. You know, around here in Western New York, we have a lot of bull rings. It's bound to happen. Like I said, the field is closed up. I don't think anybody in general is trying to be dirty, but they are trying to use whatever advantage they can to stay ahead of you. That's just part of it. I know that, like on Thursday, Wesley and I brought this subject up a little bit, and he was saying on the bigger stage, there is an amount of respect that comes. When you're one of the front runners and you're running with the other guys, you respect one another and the speed you're capable of. And I mentioned to him that, you know, it might be better up towards the front of the pack. I'm not quite there, you know. Like I said, I'm a little older equipment, a little older tires. This is causing me to be in the, you know, the back half of the top 5, mid pack, you know, back of the pack. And when you're back there, not everybody's handling the best. So they're trying to get all they can get out of it. It's, you know, it's as much my fault as, you know, somebody roughing me up is. My speed isn't there to where I'm just going out and leading laps and staying in the clean. We see it in all types of racing, from NASCAR down. You know, leaders tend to have a lot of respect for one another because they know they're fast, to whereas, you know, once people start having ill-handling cars / carts, there's a tendency to get into one another. So all in all, I'm not mad. I did get dive bombed pretty bad. I made a pretty clean pass, and I'm not calling the kid out because he is a kid and he will learn. But I was a little upset. I made a fairly, you know, pretty clean pass on him, and I made it a point to do so, and he kind of just took me out. Now that I'm more upset about the calls on track. I'll give you that. I'll give anybody that. You can be mad at that all day long. Like, I got taken out and then I got sent to the back. Like, you got to keep a spot. That's not cool, man. But as with anything, I'm over it. It's a learning experience. You know, hopefully that just remains in his brain. Hey, man, you know, if you don't have the run, try not to take it. Try not to take somebody out. That's a very low percentage move to dive bomb somebody and hoping it's going to stick. I know I know his intent wasn't to take me out, but it was a low percentage move that had. He didn't have the traction to do that, and it definitely just kind of cleaned me out. I was like, man, I was pretty mad. I'm not a big fan of people being on track doing one of these, you know. But if as it turns out, if you hit me enough and then you clean me out, I might become one of those people that are waving my hands all about and pretty upset. But I think anybody would. If not, you're a better man than I. Because that stuff does happen. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you an update, guys. I know it's a little. It's not the informational video they want, but I know that this video could relate to some of you, and know that you're not the only one. You're not the only one who's getting roughed up a little bit. You're getting into clone racing. You're doing this and that, and it's just like, do all people drive like this? And it's not all people, but yes, it does happen. You're not the only one, and I don't think a lot of it is malicious. I think that everybody is scraping for every last bit of speed. They're getting whatever they possibly can out of their cart at that moment, and unfortunately, you might be in the way of them getting that performance out of the cart. So there's that. Take what you will from it. I guess. It hasn't stopped me. A couple more weeks here. I'm going to get a little pause, do some family stuff, and then the 27th, I believe, I'm going to go try a new track if they get to run or not. Just experience a little different. I could run AMS some more, no problem. But I want to get some experience, run some different tires, see what happens, type of thing. I don't want to just become just run one track and that's the only experience I have. I want to get out, do a little bit more, but do it within reason, within a couple hours of my house, and we'll go that way. So there you go, guys. I really do appreciate you coming by. Remember, Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tack Tire Treatments for tires and tracks. And if you need any help whatsoever at track, come over, say hello. I got plenty of product with me. You want to try some stuff? You're running low on some stuff? Just holler at me. I might have some with me. If you have any questions about the products at all, feel free to, as with anybody, reach out to me, my email, messenger, all that stuff. Send me some questions and I'll do my best to get answers for you on the products that sponsor this channel. So, all right, guys, thank you very much for stopping by. I knew this was going to be a long ramble session, and I am sorry. I do apologize for that, but it is what it is. I will see you in the next video. So, later.